Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to 8 Ball Sports here, and we're back with College Football Week 6 predictions. So we're going to go and get this thing started, hopefully keep this video at a shortened length, and this should be up Thursday, right around the time, right in the morning, hopefully. But ACC, we got Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and one of the best matchups of the week, in my opinion. 25 versus, I believe, 17 as a check. ACC has two top 25 matchups this week, so that should be good. I have North Carolina winning after the win over Florida State. Virginia Tech, ranked. Not really sure if they've beaten anyone. I'm sorry. I know they lost Tennessee. North Carolina, I think, is going to win that game. Florida State, Miami. I have Miami. Florida State's not looked good this year. With 2 losses now on the record. And I think Miami is 4-0 with Mark Richt. Is that their head coach now? I think that's their head coach now. I think they're going to win. Notre Dame, NC State. I'm going to go ahead and go with Notre Dame here. NC State put up a very impressive performance, though, last week against Wake Forest. But I thought Wake Forest was a better team than they were. Is that who they beat last week? Can anyone? I don't know. But if that's wrong, I'm sorry. But Syracuse, Wake Forest. I have Syracuse. They're 2-3. They've looked decent against Notre Dame and against Louisville. And I don't think Wake Forest has really played anyone superior. And I think Syracuse is going to win that game. Army Duke. If I'm Duke, you got to watch out for Army. They're 3-1, which isn't saying much, as they don't really play much. But it's tough to defend the type of style that they play, which I believe is triple option. If it's not triple option, they still just play all of those Army schools up there, or Navy, whatever division they're in. I'm sorry, but all of them they're a completely different game plan than teams you see in the ACC. So if I'm Duke, watch out. But I have Duke winning that game. Clemson, Boston College. I have Clemson winning this game. Boston College 3-2 this year, but Clemson coming off the win against Louisville. I think this game's going to be closer than most people think, but Clemson's going to get the victory. And then Georgia Tech, Pittsburgh, 2-3-2 teams. Pittsburgh, similar situation here. I have you guys winning, but watch out for Georgia Tech's play style. It's different than most people's. In the Big 12, we have Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River rivalry, I think that's what it's called. I have Oklahoma winning this game. This was a tough one. This is going to be a good game this week, I think. Texas, I think both teams are in similar situations this year. Both teams came in, or maybe not necessarily similar. Okay, Oklahoma came in expecting to be a playoff contender like they were last year. Lose to Houston, lose to Ohio State. They're out of the playoffs pretty much. Texas came in not necessarily knowing what to expect. Beat Notre Dame. At the time, they thought that was a very big win. Now we kind of realize Notre Dame's 2-3, and it kind of were they really that good? But and then they lose to Cal and they lose to Oklahoma State last week. So I think both teams everyone thought they were going to be good after Oklahoma at the beginning of the season, Texas after the win over Notre Dame. Both teams have kind of fallen back to reality, I guess. But I have Oklahoma winning that game. Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's win over Texas. Iowa State played good against Baylor, don't get me wrong, but they're 1-4. They couldn't finish it out. Oklahoma State looked good. I think Oklahoma State wins it. Texas Tech, Kansas State. I'm going to go ahead and have Kansas State in this one. Simply being Texas Tech, I believe, has the better record. I just liked Kansas State here. I don't have a good reason why, but I think Kansas State's going to win that game. TCU and Kansas. TCU's going to win that game pretty single-handedly. TCU almost came back against Oklahoma last week, but they couldn't quite finish it. Kansas is just not a good football team. In the Big Ten, Michigan, Rutgers. Michigan's going to beat Rutgers. Fairly simple. Indiana, Ohio State. Indiana's 3-1, and this could just be the Ohio State fan in me. But they always play us tough. I think this game's going to be closer than most people are predicting. I still have Ohio State winning because I'm not going to bet against Ohio State. But this is going to be, I think it's going to be a close game. As Indiana, again, they always play us well. They're 3-1 this year. They're a decent football team. And I think it's going to be closer than most people think. I mean, last year it came down to like a play in the end zone, like a throw to the end zone from like the 20 to win the game, and they couldn't get it. BYU, Michigan State. Michigan State is going to win that game. Their back-to-back losses. 1 to Indiana. Also, I mean, I'm going to say something. Indiana just beat Michigan State, but BYU is not going to beat them, I do not believe. Maryland, Penn State. Maryland, I'm not sure which side of the Big Ten they're in. If they're in the one with Michigan State, Ohio State, or if they're in the one with on the other side. If they're on the one on the other side, Maryland has a very realistic chance of winning that side of the conference. They've looked great. They beat Purdue like 50-6 last week. If you're a Maryland fan, things are looking pretty good for you, honestly. I mean, 4-0, 2 more wins, and I have you guys beating Penn State, so there you go. Purdue, Illinois. I do have Illinois winning this game. I don't really like that matchup that much. I don't think that's going to be... I mean, I think it's going to be a decent matchup, but it's obviously not a very relevant one, as neither team is that good. I have Illinois, though. Just kind of my preference there. Iowa, Minnesota. I have Iowa in this game. I debated over this one for a good couple minutes, but as I was writing the stuff down before the video, I did pause, and I thought about it. I don't know. This is going to be a good game. I do have Iowa winning the game, though. So, yeah. Pac-12, Washington, Oregon. Washington's going to win this game. I would watch out. I think Oregon has a chance. Everyone's kind of all getting hyped at Washington now after they win last week over Stanford. But I think Oregon has a chance, but I think Washington's still going to win that game. Arizona, Utah. I have Utah winning this game. That's going to be another close game. There's a lot of good games this week in college football. That necessarily aren't like top 25 matchups, but they're just good games. California or Oregon State. California's going to win that game pretty easily. Washington State, Stanford. If I'm Stanford, you got to watch out for the Washington State team. They beat Oregon pretty bad last week. And you obviously got beaten pretty bad. And I made a post-game analysis, so be sure to go check that out. There wasn't really much to analyze, though, as it was kind of just a good old-fashioned butt-whooping. But they got to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey more, as they only gave him the ball 12 times on the ground and like 5 times through the air. You got to give him 60% of the ball. 60% of your plays, you have to give him the ball because that's what you were doing coming in, and that's why you were winning. You don't do it, you give him the ball like 27% or something, and you lost. Because you got down so early, though. I mean, I can't really blame them. But UCLA, Arizona State, that's going to be another good matchup. I have UCLA winning this game. Arizona State coming off the pretty bad loss to USC. It was 41-6 for a while in that game. They made it look a little better at like 41-21, 41-20, I think. But I think UCLA is going to win that game. Colorado, USC. I have Colorado in this game. I am a Colorado believer. They played well against Michigan. They are 4-1, only lost to Michigan. USC, I know they beat Arizona State pretty bad last week, as I just mentioned. I have Colorado in this game, though. Colorado is ranked for the first time since 2005. Colorado is turning their football program around, I do believe. And I think they have a realistic chance of winning. Alabama, Arkansas. As much as I want Arkansas to win this game, I cannot vote against Alabama, as they're just too dominant. That's all I would say about that one. Vandy, Kentucky. Vanderbilt, I have winning this game. They're going to improve to 3-3, and I have a fairly decent chance of making a bowl, I think. I know the back end of their schedule is not necessarily kind to them, as they do have to play some tough teams in the SEC, but I think they have a chance. Slim, but they have a chance. If they have to win this game, though, they have to win this game. And they're probably going to have to pull off some upset. But they almost beat Florida last week, so. Tennessee, Texas A&M. Now, for all the Tennessee fans that were getting so mad at me about my Tennessee-Georgia post-game analysis, okay, if you are still here watching, I want to apologize. I was a little biased in that video, and I tried to say at the beginning that I wasn't, as I'm not a Tennessee fan. I tried to come at it in an unbiased way, but I know I did a pretty bad job of doing that. But here, this should make you happy. I have Tennessee winning that game. It's going to be a good matchup, I think. Texas A&M's, the reason I have them winning that game is Texas A&M's performance last week. If they're barely going to beat South Carolina by like 24-13, I know Tennessee barely beat Georgia. Okay, that's not saying they didn't deserve the win or anything. Before all the Tennessee fans go off in the comments again. But I just think Tennessee's the better football team. I think Tennessee fans are starting to believe in their team. And I think if they win this game, then they're going to beat Bama. If they don't win this game, then they're going to get down and they're not going to be able to beat Bama. But if they win this game, they're just going to keep rolling, and they're going to keep rolling into Alabama. And I think Alabama is not going to be able to stop them. LSU versus Florida. I have LSU in this game. I know Florida's ranked and the better record, but LSU dominant performance last week, and Florida did not have a very dominating performance against Vandy last week. So I have LSU in that one. Auburn, Mississippi State. I have Auburn in this game. Mississippi State's not looked good this season. Auburn's looked okay. I think Auburn's gonna win. Georgia, South Carolina. Georgia coming off the Hail Mary loss. And South Carolina, just not a very good football team. But they played pretty well last week, but they're not a very good football team. I have Georgia winning that game. That's going to be it. We did keep this video at a fairly short length. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to comment your opinions on the predictions that I made. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I will see you guys later.